Oh, really?
Yeah. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. And to everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace. A time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. And to everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late.
There is a moment in the documentary Pete Seeger, The Power of Song, and we have to begin talking about it. The phrase piece of work has taken on some negative connotations these days. You sometimes say that about something someone you're not too sure about. You say, what a piece of work he is or she is. The phrase itself, if you go back to its original meaning, applies to this film in every respect. What a piece of work. What a piece of filmmaking on the part of Jim Brown. What a life on the part of Pete Seeger. We'll leave it at that for now. And boy, Jim, you have all the heavy hitters out there as the talking heads. Was that difficult to put together?
The film was a labor of love. I've known Pete most of my adult life, and he's always been a guiding force in some way in the way I try to conduct myself. And basically, there were so many people influenced by Pete that we had to just kind of choose who would be in the film. Roger's in it, Bruce Springsteen, Bob Dylan, Arlo, Joan Baez, Peter, Paul, and Mary. But also because Pete is not about celebrity at all. He feels we're all equal. There's a lot of not famous people in it, and Pete's probably just as happy about having those people in it as anybody else.
Oh, I'm sure that's the case. Pete, you're familiar with the music industry term groupie. You know what that is?
I've heard it.
All right. Well, there's a scene in the film of you and Toshi walking in the village, and it seems to be incredibly spontaneous. I'm sure Jim will back this up.
Absolutely.
But a woman walks up to you to thank you, again, for your life and what you contributed to her life. And the first question is to Jim. It was that spontaneous?
It was. We were Pete and I were working with some Spanish Civil War vets that day, and Toshi actually lived very near the park, and Pete lived near the park, and we thought it would be wonderful to just take a little stroll just for old time's sake. And that woman came out of the park and just said, "Can I go up to him?" And I said, "Oh,
You're
go
totally
ahead."
unexpected. And I'm so glad that Toshi was with me, because I was able to point out to the woman that hardly anything I've done could have been done if it hadn't been that I was married to this extraordinary woman.
Who is also an executive producer on the film.
Yes. It's a beautiful moment in a film, a documentary, chock full of beautiful moments. But I just wanted to say, Pete, you know, you have your groupies. The difference is they're about 65 to 70, which is okay. I'm sure. Was it you who said, or was it Toshi who said that she wishes you had been a womanizer, because then she would have had a reason to leave you?
One of her favorite lines.
That's fabulous. Okay, so we're going to pick up.
Roger,
the next segment.
While I'm about
Yes, Pete. Yes?
You should know that when this movie is finally is available, hits the movie theaters in quantity, my book is which I wrote 14 years ago, but it had so many mistakes in it, I told the publisher, don't reprint it, is finally...
Where have all the flowers gone?
Yes. Yep. Subtitled as Sing-Along Memoir. It's finally... I sent the last chapter off to the publisher. Now they got to type it up and get the music all done, and the 3 little CDs that go along with it, so people who don't know how to read music can pick up a song out of the book. It finally will be in the record stores, in the bookstores, next March, I guess, early next year. And
that's great.
I'm going to send you a copy as soon as I have one, because there's a couple songs in there I don't know if you ever heard. Did you ever hear the song, it's Quite Early Morning? Oh, holy mackerel.
Quite Early Morning.
This is another song where I got by reading Dylan Thomas. He had a whole little essay called Quite Early Morning. You know it's darkest before the dawn. This thought keeps me moving on. If we could heed these early warnings, the time is now quite early morning. If we could heed these early warnings, the time is now quite early morning. Some say that humankind won't long endure. What makes them feel so doggone sure. If we could heed these, oh, I know that you who hear my singing could make those freedom bells go ringing. I know that you who hear my singing could make those freedom bells go ringing. And so we keep on while we live, till we have no more to give. And when these fingers can strum no longer, and the old banjo, the young one's stronger, when these fingers can strum no longer, and the old banjo, the young one's stronger. So though it's darkest before the dawn, this thought keeps us moving on through all this world of joy and sorrow. We still can have singing tomorrows through all this world of joy and sorrow. We still can have singing tomorrows.
Beautiful.
I didn't know if you'd ever heard the song.
No, I don't know that
sing
song,
it to
Pete.
you.
I'm great. I'm looking forward to getting the CDs with it.
That's about as spontaneous as it gets. Pete, you used that line in the liner notes to one of your albums, LPs. Remember those? This was one where you said, when these fingers or hands can strum no longer, turn the guitar over to those who are younger. It's something along those lines, correct?
Young one's stronger.
Young one's stronger. Yeah, that's it. That's it. But you're still getting the job done, my friend. You may shy away from that or disavow it to some extent, but that was
But you can
just...
see my voice is in the cellar these days. Roger would sing that an octave higher.
In one of your visits to the show, you were in the middle of Goodnight Irene, and you stopped and you said, "Nope, it's not working. People aren't singing along." But I knew in my head that the listeners were. It's just that we couldn't hear them.
They're out there.
But they were, and they are. Now, I'm not a musician by any stretch of the imagination, Pete, but I'm listening to you do that, and I hear a little bit of Lonesome Valley in there.
Mm-hmm.
Is
you
there?
got to walk that Lonesome Valley by yourself. I've heard that. Yeah.
Do your ears perceive it?
Woody Guthrie taught me that song. You got to walk that lonesome valley. You got to walk it by yourself. I'll be darned. That's where I got the tune.
Nobody else. I want to walk it for you.
Hey, why don't you and Pete do that?
You got to walk that
Pete,
lonesome
sing along.
valley
Go ahead.
by yourself.
Put that in a better key, though.
Okay.
Put it back in the key we were in before.
Okay.
Here we go, from the beginning. And anybody listening, to save yourself, you might as well help out, too. I sing one line and you immediately repeat it. Oh, you got to walk
You got to walk
that lonesome valley.
that lonesome valley.
You're not coming in quick enough.
No.
I'll have to sing both parts.
Okay, let's hear this.
Right away. Oh, you got to walk. You got to walk.
You got to walk.
You're not. You should be singing with me on that repeat.
Oh,
You're so Louis
can
still
Pete hear us?
listening.
Maybe. I'm wondering if you
He
can't.
might be getting the delay.
He might not be getting.
I see. What's the point?
We'll follow you,
There's
Pete,
an
but I think
echo.
it's actually going to work. You're
doesn't
probably
work.
hearing us on delay.
You're 2 seconds later down there in New York.
But
it
we're
takes
not,
2
really.
seconds for the airwaves to get from Beacon to New York, 60 miles away. Did you know that?
Yeah, if it was in the
Takes
air, but
2
we're going over
seconds.
copper wires.
Pete, why don't we try it with with your headphones off,
And we'll sing along.
and we'll sing
Oh.
along
Yeah, and then I think it'll work.
just
Yeah,
for this.
You won't hear us, but
That's,
we'll do it.
I see. Oh, right.
That's why they pay me the big
Okay.
bucks, Pete.
Here we go. Oh, you got to walk
Oh, you got to walk
that lonesome